Today we're going to be working on the Prelude. I'm trying to replace the AC compressor, which went bad. So my game plan as of now is to take off the fan, pull it out the way, take out the lines, pull them out the way, take off the belt, and see if we can just get directly to the compressor. There's no freon in there. It leaked out a long time ago, so I don't really have to worry about that. And then I'll just put everything back together and have it charged. Over here, these are all the compressor. These are all the parts. This is a compressor I picked up from Rock Auto. It's a 4 season. I've heard good reviews about this brand, so I'm gonna try it. These are the wheel bearings for the front of the all-wheel drive Accord. Yes, I do have one of those. It's parked up right here. So, want to learn more about this car? Check out the channel. But for right now, we're just gonna do the AC compressor. So I'm gonna take him out, take a look, make sure everything's in order. So this kit came with the dryer bottle and the expansion valve. So hopefully these are decent. But I'm gonna keep the old parts just in case. If anything goes bad, I could always replace it and return these. Well, obviously the compressor is bad, so as long as it comes on, that's a win. And there she is. So it looks relatively the same as the one that's in the car. So we took out the fan first. I'm sliding it up. I'm taking the fan out. I had to take off the mount right here. I held the radiator in place in order to slide the fan out. So this bolt to the bottom is kind of rusted, so I'm gonna use some vice grips or pliers to pull it out. And then I'm gonna get started on taking the lines out. I already broke it with a vice grip, so now I'm just trying to get it out with this pliers. Got it off. Ooh, happy it didn't break. So in order to take out the lines, they're 12mm. I just use a long extension with a swivel, and they're just coming right out. But once you take those out, there is a 12mm down here that you're gonna need to do to get to take the belt out. So when you're taking out the belt, there's this 12mm right here. You have to loosen that up before you can come over here and start unwinding that 10mm bolt right here. If you don't do that, you stand a chance of stripping out the bracket. The first thing you should do when you're doing this job is to make sure you do disconnect the battery, just in case anything hits the alternator or so we took the lines off. Now we're going to work on taking out the belt. So as I stated before, you loosen up that 14mm and you just unscrew this 10. This will pull in the alternator, allowing you to push it down to give room and slack to the belt so you can take it off. So that's loose, and there should be one more 14 right underneath here. Loosen that up, and you should be able to just push the alternator down. So the 14mm you're loosening up is this bolt that runs across, and it comes out over here. So it's right below the pulley. 14, just gotta loosen it up. Don't take it out, just loosen it up. And then you just see now this alternator moves. So now I could just push it down a little bit more, loosen this up, and I could just push it down and take the belt off. I'm not gonna lie, I got impatient and just took out this 10mm that was holding the bracket in place. So with that out, I just push this all the way down, and now I have enough room to slide off the belt. So there you go, the belt is off. Now there should be 4 12s holding the compressor in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gotta take those out. Then I could try to finagle the compressor out somewhere over here and just install the new ones. Also, don't forget, you gotta disconnect the plug to the compressor. So just loosen these up, then you can slide the compressor out. And just so you know, when you're taking out the 2 bolts on this side, they won't come out with the radiator in place, so when you're putting it back in, make sure you put these 2 bolts in first, or else there'll be no way of getting them in. So that's the compressor. So this is the new versus the old. So everything looked to be the same. Pins all look the same. So what I'm gonna do is just pins all the way in. So I'm gonna start installing this. Leave these bolts in. Just grabbing it until I'm ready to install that complete line. So just gonna snake it back in now. As stated, just put these 2 in. So now you could just slide it into place. And now we'll just put the other 2 in and start to reconnect the lines, and then we're gonna move on to the dryer, which is right over there, tucked into this corner. This is when an electric ratchet will come in handy. Got 3/8, so subscribe to the channel so I could buy one, y'all. The AC compressor is back in, it's tightened up. So now I'm going to just readjust the belt for the alternator and get this thing back up and fully secure the alternator in the system. At this point, the AC compressor is in. If you want to, you could probably run it with this old dryer. I'm trying not to be lazy, so in order to do that, I have to take off the whole bumper. View. Took out the screws here. Took this one out. Took out, this is the 12mm here. Take the lights out. There should be 2 12s that you see that's missing right there. One's in the hole. Repeat the same thing over here. And there's a screw that goes in right here. You take that out, obviously, and then you just pull the bumper and everything comes a little forward, comes off. So I'm doing this because I need to get this headlight out so I can get to the evaporator valve. Sorry, the dryer. So it's off. Whew. Bumper's over there, so now I'm gonna start taking off that dryer. So with the bumper off, I have full access to the dryer. So I'm just gonna take this whole unit out, disconnect these. I think these are 14s or 17s, I gotta check. Loosen this clamp. Actually, I might just loosen it and just take these 2 10s out, slide the whole unit out, and then loosen it on the outside. Either way, it has to come out. Got to the dryer. What I did was, they are 17s. I disconnect this line first, then this line. Spray a little WD-40. Just be careful when you're bending this line back. It is very brittle, so I've replaced these little black rubber grommets. They're on both sides. I took out the 10s. So now I'm gonna see if I could just finagle this out. I didn't want to take the headlights out because apparently it seems if you have to. So I'm just gonna keep it going like this, and I just wiggle it out. You gotta pay attention to where the in is. So the inside is pointing towards the back, towards the body of the vehicle. These are the 2 new seals that came with it, and as stated before, the in I'm gonna have facing back. So for inspection, the old one, it has the arrow pointing in, so this will be the side that goes in on the new one. So I'll be using this for this side, so it'll be sitting like this inside the vehicle. put it on, tighten it up. So I'm not sure where I left off. The bumper's off. Now I'm going to reinstall the bumper. I had to take the car for a drive to make sure everything was working. Took it to my boy's house and then had the system, vacuum and then reinstall new Freon. My biggest issue was, I don't know what was going on with this car, but the fans wouldn't come on, the compressor clutch wasn't kicking. These are the AC relays right here that controls these are the relays that control the AC compressor and the fan. So double check those are all well. I checked all the fuses over there, those are all well. It came to be that this switch instruments panel, something, I guess it was a loose connection. So after I tapped it once or twice, it just kicked in and started working. So this green light came on showing that it was working, and that's what fixed that's what made everything start to work. And yes, I did check that before. The AC compressor is in fact bad. The compressor, the clutches are not engaging. That's the reason why I had to change that compressor out.
I live inside my own world of make-believe.